Thank you for joining us today here on Winging It, Unscripted Conversations with the Hot Springs community, broadcasting from National Park College. The intent of this NPC podcast is to have informal conversations with different community members as a way of understanding their work in our region and highlighting their connection with the college. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Winging It. I'm your host, Wade Derden, and I have a special guest today, Dr. Peggy Doss, Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Monticello. Dr. Doss and I just concluded a big celebration on campus as we publicly recognized our fourth bachelor's program partnership in computer information systems. And now Dr. Doss has agreed to join me for a conversation about this partnership. Welcome, Dr. Doss.
Well, thank you, Dr. Derden. It is a pleasure to be back at National Park College in the Hot Springs area and celebrate another opportunity for us to partner and bring another degree program to your area. It's a delight to be here.
Well, we certainly appreciate that partnership. Let's jump right in, Dr. Doss. For students exploring college options, what does this partnership between UAM and NPC offer that they might not find elsewhere?
You know, I think there are many opportunities and things that are offered for our students here, but the one that really jumps out in my mind initially is that opportunity to stay local and complete that four-year degree. You know, you can do that in a campus where they're already familiar with the faculty and the staff. Maybe they want to stay closer to home, and they can do it in a very affordable way. And so this opportunity for us to bring the last 2 years of a four-year degree to the campus just means that the students are able to expand educational opportunities, maybe that they wouldn't otherwise have. And so I think not only for that, but just the fact that it enriches the education of the region and the workforce, as well. But for students, to me, it's opportunity. It's really offering an opportunity for them to make a difference in the lives of themselves and their families.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we do it.
Absolutely.
What bachelor's degrees are now available at NPC's campus through UAM, and how do these programs prepare students for today's job market?
Oh, we're excited to say that we have, as you know, several degree programs right now. We have our Bachelor of Business Administration, and today we celebrated adding the Computer Information Systems degree, but we also have the Bachelor of Arts in K-6 Elementary Education and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And I'd like to just share a few numbers with you.
Sure,
I know you're familiar with those, but
it's
just
funny to ask questions that I know answers to, but go ahead.
Absolutely. I think this is so fun to talk about the success, though. So we have 4 degrees, right? Look at these numbers. In the short period of time we've been in this partnership, the Bachelor of Business Administration has an enrollment of 19 students.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
And also the CIS degree that's just being celebrated today already has 3 students enrolled, and my understanding is they have 4 or 5 more waiting to be enrolled immediately. And the Bachelor of Arts in K-6 Education, 24 students. That is absolutely amazing.
That's a really important degree for this region. In Arkansas in general, especially in rural portions of Arkansas, having education, I mean, we're just constantly looking for new educators.
So absolutely. And like the other degree that I wanted to mention is the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, has 8 enrolled at this moment. And when you think really about all of these degrees are extraordinarily important to our state and to our region, but when you think about the teacher education shortage, and the shortage of nurses. And so that and the business degree were the first ones we started. When you think about 24 students enrolled in K-6, for instance, and we have already graduated, I believe, 6 students this past year, ready to go to work in the public schools in this region. That is absolutely amazing in such a short period of time. And I just have to add, that could not have happened without the collaboration of your staff and actually the vision that you all brought to the table for this model. As we mentioned earlier in our announcement, there's 4 degrees and we're just waiting to find out what the next one's going to be. But it's so important, as you mentioned earlier, to your region and serving your economic development. I don't want to be repetitive in what I'm saying, but the beauty of this is what we know. We serve students and families. And if you have first-generation students that have not experienced higher education before and they don't want to leave this area, and who would want to leave this beautiful area, right? It's so pretty here. This is an opportunity for them to finish that degree and stay close to home in a beautiful region and go to work.
Right. Well, exactly. I just keep getting caught up in the fact that we're able to now offer these bachelor's degrees. You know, it's been a dream of the college and of our board of trustees and regional leaders for a long time to be able to find some way to do this. So I'm very appreciative of that collaboration for sure.
Well, thank you.
What kind of support in terms of academic advising, financial aid, tutoring is available to students who enroll in these joint programs?
When we look at the services that we all know, those wraparound services that are required for a student, all the way from applications, applying for a program, admissions, financial aid, all the way to enrolled in a program and being advised, between your staff and our staff, we're able to offer all of those things. Often, our staff representing all of these areas you've just mentioned will actually come to your campus and work with your staff and students face to face.
That's right.
And I want to lift that up a bit because I think that's one of the pieces that makes the campus within the campus model so extraordinarily unique. Students are not having to do these things remotely, and they are meeting people face to face. And that hands-on personal advising, whether that's about the academics or whether that's about financial aid, is so extraordinarily important. So our intent is to be sure that students who are entering our program from your program have access to all the same services that we would offer if they actually were physically coming to our campus to go to school. And I find that we're bridging that between the two campuses, that handoff, if you will, between the two. There's no gaps, I think. And actually, by the time that they're finishing your degree program, we're already beginning to speak with them, and it's just a nice handoff. We're thrilled to say that we offer all these services, including tutoring. When you think about the students getting the program, it's not just a matter of, oh, now we have them, they're enrolled. It's about making sure they persist and they finish that degree. And so the academic advising and the tutoring and other support that they need for financial assistance along the way, I think certainly we're offering all that. But I have to go back and say that one of the things that makes the partnership so unique is that along the way, your staff is still willing to help.
Yes, that's right. And housing is still an option as well for students who decide to continue on here. So,
absolutely, it
and now
is.
we have a new residence hall with Redbud Hall opening.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's really exciting. And as you said earlier, that's another attraction for students. Once you finish your associate's degree, if you want to stay in that residence hall and you're offering that opportunity for them to do that and continue those last 2 years.
That's right. Well, how does this partnership reflect the shared mission of NPC and UAM?
I think that's one of the remarkable parts of the partnership is that we are much more alike than we are different.
That's right.
And I think at the core of everything is our belief in students as an individual, giving opportunities to students that may otherwise not have those. In Monticello, a 4-year school, we still have 49% of our students are first generation.
Right.
We have probably 80 to 90% of our students who require some form of financial aid. And I don't know your statistics, but
it's very similar.
And when you compare our missions, it is still about providing opportunities to get an education, a quality education at an affordable price. We're changing the lives of students, but we're also influencing the lives of families. We share that core value. So if you put our mission statements and our strategic plans side by side and our core values, I think you'd find that most of those things are very similar. And so I think that's part of why we've been so successful. Because, yes, we run institutions, but at the end of the day, we know that the only reason we exist is for our students.
That's exactly right. And, when you talk about just that broader impact that an education can have, well, that's at the heart of my own personal research back when I was still doing research is that, we have an opportunity as educators to help people who are first generation get an education. And then they go out into the workplace and they have a good job. They've got health care benefits. They're participating more in their community, and they're providing for a family and able to do things that maybe they haven't experienced in the past. And then they become a model for their family and their friends and their social network, and it lifts other people up too. Like, hey, I can do this too. And we want to be that conduit. I'm very dedicated to rural Arkansas in particular, and I'm first generation student myself. And so sometimes I look back and I think, how did I get here? How did I do this? But it is possible. And that's what we create. We create possibilities for people, I think.
I'm a first-generation student as well. And you know that I'm a graduate of UAM, that UAM gave me my opportunity. I grew up in Southeast Arkansas, so I understand what it's like when you're first generation. Your parents want you to get that education, but they were not aware of how to manage the higher ed world.
I know,
right?
It's tough.
How do you apply? How do you do those things? Someone at that campus back in that time helped me learn how to manage that system. And I won't name them, but I could name them.
I could too.
Because I can remember who they were, who were there for me. that said, this is how you get enrolled. This is how you get into your classes. This is how you pay your bill. And they followed up to make sure I was doing those things. And they were the people that developed relationships with me that I felt comfortable in going to and asking for help, because that's what I needed to be able to complete that degree. So kind of a similar story, I think, to what you're sharing in sense of being first generation. This is not anything negative about a family. It's just a fact. My family had not had that experience.
That's exactly right.
And so it's okay because we're passing on what was given to us.
That's right.
This is a deep commitment. I think for both of us, it's a very personal commitment to our students because we've been there.
That's right. We could probably talk about that for a long time, Peggy.
Oh, we could.
What would you say to a student who's on the fence about enrolling? Why should they consider starting their bachelor's degree here at NPC through UAM?
If I were sitting face-to-face with that student right now, one of my first questions would be, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to be? What are your ambitions? And let me help you get there. I would definitely want to share with them why taking this next 2 years, that step of those next 2 years, would be so important, showing them the benefits, not only financially, but personally, as we said. And then I would say to them, this will be the easiest thing you've ever done in terms of we are going to be here to take your hand and to guide you through these next 2 years. You will not be by yourself. As a matter of fact, you'll be with some other people doing the same thing. So this is not where we sell you a product and we walk away. Right. We're giving you an opportunity, and it is imperative that we make sure that you're successful. And so what I would say to them, there's a place you'll belong, and it's a place you can be successful. And you must believe in yourself. If your heart's desire has been to be a nurse or a teacher, well, let's make that dream come true.
Right.
And so I would just encourage them. I might even share, I may have had some of those same concerns that you have at one time. And I can tell you from experience, it's the best decision I ever made.
Well, I appreciate that. This podcast is for the community, and so I think it would be important for our community, both the campus and Greater Hot Springs area, to know just a little bit about you, Dr. Doss. So can you share a little about your background and what led you to your current role as Chancellor?
Well, as I mentioned, I graduated from University of Arkansas, Monticello in the School of Education. I was a teacher education major, and I was very fortunate to be able to get a teaching position in Southeast Arkansas because that's where my family is, that's where my husband's family is. And like some of your students, we wanted to stay close to home. Right. So I started teaching in the public schools there, and I did that for almost 25 years. Over that career, that particular career, I've been in the classroom, 5th grade teacher, 4th grade teacher, later was a supervisor for gifted and talented education for the educational cooperative. Then I went back to the public school as an elementary principal.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Absolutely. And interesting, as a principal, I had the opportunity to work with the School of Education at UAM, and we developed a laboratory school for my campus. And it was a 2nd and 3rd grade building, and we decided that we wanted all of the interns to go through, quote, a laboratory school, and we developed that model. The rules were a little different back in the day at that time. So we had faculty from UAM who actually came and partnered with our classroom faculty to join in and to bring interns in as teachers. And it's very similar, honestly, to kind of what we're doing here. Right. We kind of became real partners and had UAM faculty in our building all the time. And through that, I had an opportunity to go to work at UAM. I was working on my doctorate at the time, and I had an opportunity to go to UAM on a grant, a 4-year grant. And I took that opportunity because I thought I wanted to be in higher education. After being around all these fantastic UAM professors, I thought, I want to be like them. I want to do that. And I did have that opportunity in 1995. And over the years, I think I have had every vice chancellor's role that's on the campus except for finance and administration. And I was also dean of education for 10 years. And then in 2019, I was vice chancellor for academic affairs at that time. And there was an opportunity, the chancellor's position was coming open, and I had the opportunity to move to that role. So I want our listeners to hear what an education can do for you and what this institution did for me, because I wouldn't have had those opportunities otherwise. Right. And I credit everything that I have ever been able to do to, of course, God first, family second, and to the University of Arkansas Monticello for believing in me. Right.
That's a great story. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for asking.
What's something about the University of Arkansas Monticello that you are especially proud of and that you wish more people knew about?
I think something that makes the University of Arkansas Monticello unique as a four-year institution is, and I think you're aware, we have 2 colleges of technology as well as our four-year degrees. And in the past year, we also were approved for our first doctoral degree. We have now a PhD in forest resources.
That's a great program.
And we're excited about that and very thankful for all the different bodies that approved that and saw the need for it. So we offer everything in education, from adult education all the way now to a PhD. Our technical campuses have a wide variety of different technical programs, and one's located in Crossett and one's in McGee. They both are very robust and doing quite well. Our adult education program has expanded and is doing extraordinarily well. And students can get an associate's degree, of course, and we have a number of bachelor's degrees, as you know. And, of course, we have master's degrees in education and fine arts and forestry and other areas. And I think the uniqueness for us is I don't know of another institution that has exactly that model, particularly when you add the campus within the campus model, where now we're expanding to work with our 2-year partners. I think another unique thing for UAM is, we have the only forestry program in the state as well. And we were very fortunate that the state of Arkansas funded a new building for us, a new center, as a research center, that will be the UAM Forest Health Research Center. And it will be comparable to Mississippi State, South Carolina, Auburn, places that have those kinds of research centers. And the beauty of it is no longer will anyone in the state have to send samples or specimens to another institution out of Arkansas to be analyzed. We can do that right at UAM and continue the extraordinary research that we're doing with the forestry area and how forest lands, how the trees really impact our environment, as well as particularly waterfowl. So, we have a lot of enthusiasts in the state for duck hunting. And we have a very strong waterfowl research program as well. So those two really tie nicely together. And within that building, we were able to also add 2 new biology and 2 new chemistry laboratories for our undergraduate program. We also have a very strong agriculture program. We have a large cattle herd that a lot of people don't know about.
I've been there.
That is Beef Master, and our cattle have won grand champions in Tri-State as well as here in Arkansas. And there's a lot of cattle ranchers who are very interested in having some of that DNA for their own herds. So those are some of the unique things I think about UAM, and some of those are common to other institutions, but to see that all under one umbrella. And of course, we've already talked about our other strong programs in nursing and teacher education, CIS and business, and so many others. And our students that graduate from our science programs have a high rate of admission to medical school, dental school, pharmacy school. So we're very, very proud. And I start saying these things, I get a little nervous that I've left someone out. And it's not my intent, because, we work very closely together, and our arts and humanities and social and behavioral sciences are strong. And of course, they support all these other programs. But I do think that we offer a lot of pathways for students. And I do think in higher education as a 4-year, I think that's rather unique.
Well, that's great. I appreciate it. I've been to your campus a couple of times. I always enjoy going down there. It's a beautiful campus.
Well, thank you.
It's sort of a gem in South Arkansas that I think more people need to know about.
Yeah, well, thank you. We always want people to come down and visit and just check us out and see what the campus looks like. And I do want to add one thing about our partnership with the campus from the campus model. The students are truly UAM students. They just happen to be here, right?
That's right.
And so they're welcome. We encourage them to come to tailgating, to attend football games, be a part of that UAM community. And so if they have a desire to drive down to Monticello and spend the weekend and be on the campus, and they're our student, and we want them to feel welcome to do that. And we've actually had some of your students who participated in our commencement ceremony on the campus. And I think we had some of our staff come up here for your commencement ceremony as well.
That's right.
So, yeah, it is a beautiful campus. We're quite proud of it. But I have to say, your campus is gorgeous as well.
Thanks.
It's a beautiful area, and congratulations on how well it's groomed, and it's an inviting place, just like the people are here as well.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Well, and thank you for your time today, Dr. Doss.
You. It's been a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. We've known one another for a while now, and I always enjoy an opportunity to visit with you. And today was especially good because we're celebrating the new Computer Information Systems degree, and it was just a nice time to have your team here, and couldn't ask for better weather. So,
well, thank you. And, I just would say this is what we're supposed to be doing in higher education.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on Winging It and giving our listeners an opportunity to learn about the bachelor's degree and about UAM and about yourself.
Well, thank you.
To our listeners, I hope you will remember that there is always a place for you here at NPC.